Hey trappers, Dale Billingsley here, Billingsley Brand Lures. Guys, what I want to talk to y'all today about is running drags. I don't think we've covered this topic very much at all, and I feel like it's something we might need to touch on just a little bit. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. There's several different styles of drags that you can purchase or you can build your own. This happens to be a J.C. Connors tracker drag. There are a lot of different ways you can hook up to it. They come with these come with a J hook out here on the end of them, and then I've taken an S hook and then box swivel and then went from there on out with my chain. You can paint these things so that it makes it easier to see, like a day glow orange or a chartreuse yellow or chartreuse green, something of that sort that's going to stand out. You can also get by just tying a piece of marker flagging onto it. Something again in a bright orange or a green or a yellow, something of that sort. Makes it a little easier to find it uh, once the animal takes off, especially a cow. Sometimes they get up and go yonder way with them sometimes. Um, if you decide to build your own, I would definitely get one of them to use as a pattern to make sure that you get the pitch right on your angle here on the actual drag itself, and then get the width right here on the broom or the sweep of the drag. That's a very important part of it. The other thing is chain length. I like to run 10 feet. That seems to keep that drag laying down on the ground and doing its thing like it should. Now, when you're trapping fox, you don't have to worry about it so much because fox tend to worry a drag across the ground more than they do as far as getting up and going yonder with it. In fact, I've had fox just drag these things just a little ways out of the catch circle, and they'll hang up and be right there close. Some of the advantages of running drags: number one, it'll hide your catch for you a lot of times. Number two, the biggest thing is, for me anyway, is it saves the integrity of my set area. I don't have that. Again, I get away from that catch circle. Um, you do want to run some mid-chain swivels on these things, and then some good swivels up there at the trap itself too. It helps a bunch as far as keeping things down low on you, keeping this laying flat and keeping everything moving as it should instead of wanting to bind up and twist up. Um, Sometimes on certain types of drags, you're going to want to run a anti-hitch mechanism, and all that is a piece of bar, round stock, that you weld in a V shape across here. It keeps, what it does, it keeps that chain from wanting to hang up back here and sometimes getting wrapped up around here, and now he's pulling it backwards instead of pulling it frontwards like he should be. Uh, Guys, I think that's pretty well about it as far as ways to hook up and different styles and stuff. It's pretty much personal preference. The one thing I will caution you with a drag though, if you're able to do it and you've got a place for them, by all means, get yourselves a good dog. They save you so much time and so much effort out here. It's not even funny. Uh, Timber's just now figuring out the whole drag thing. She's just a little over 2 years old yet. She will pick it up and it will come on to her. The old dog I had before her was a Border Collie Terrier cross. She was good on drags. Uh, a little bit weak, but not terrible. Now the Jack Russell male dog I had before her, little Reno, he absolutely loved to drag. that was his deal. That was his forte. I could pull into an area, see the trap and the drag were gone, kick him out of the truck. Before I could get the stuff out to remake the set, he would instinctively start that 40 to 60 yard downwind circle and have the animal picked up before I could even get everything out of the truck to remake the set. He was that good. A good drag dog is an absolute must. If you're running a bunch of these and doing it a lot, if you can, like I said, guys, you really need to get one. Now a lot of guys don't like a drag. They don't like to have to go look for their animal, and they don't like the idea of having to bury them. So I'm going to show you today a couple of things that you can do with these, that you can maybe get away from having to bury them so much. Now, if you live in an area where it's not as populated, such as maybe western Nebraska, western Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, Nevada, places like that where there's not as many people. Those coyotes don't come in contact with as many people as what they do here in the Midwest. Then you might want to think about completely burying the drag. Here in the Midwest, they have pissed on every piece of farm machinery between here and Des Moines, and then from here to St. Louis, every broken off steel post. You know, they come in contact with us on a daily basis. So another piece of steel laying out there is nothing to them. But like I said, if you lived in an area where they weren't as populated, you might want to think about burying them. So without any further ado, let's jump off into that, and I'll show you what I do sometimes to help avoid any avoidance, so to speak. So stay with me, guys. All right, guys, so here we've got kind of a simulated set. If you didn't want to dig a big deep bed for your trap and your drag too, you could just pop in another hole off over here and bury your trap and or your chain and drag off here. Dig a little trench in between to kind of cover up that little bit of a chain, and then there you are. You can bury your trap just by itself there. A lot of guys have a lot of trouble burying all that chain under their trap. So this is a way to eliminate that if you don't want to do that. Now, what I do here in Iowa is I just take that drag and pitch it off back there out of the way, bury that first foot and a half of chain just in a little trench under the ground, go ahead and pop my trap in, and I'm good to go. Now, one thing I want to tell you too on this is if you've got an area that you want an animal to go a certain way and you don't want him to go a different way, what you would do at your back there at that drag, you would drive a stake in either away from this set or towards it, whichever way you wanted that animal to go. All right, drive it at an angle so that when he pulls against it, it kind of hooks, and he'll sweep around and go the other way and go back into the brush for you. If you're out along a road somewhere, that's an ideal way of doing things. Keeps that animal back off there in the brush instead of coming out here towards the road. Now, sometimes you'll get a big dumb squirrel and he'll turn around and go the other way, you know, and go out across with you. But most of the time, if you do that, those animals will go naturally towards the brush. If you don't run a dog with these drags, it comes down to you and thinking like they do. If you were a coyote or a cat or whatever, what direction would you head to get away from what you're dragging? 9 out of 10 of them will go to the brush. Now, like I said, once in a while you'll get one that's a dummy on you, and that son of a buck will turn and go to the road every time, and then you've got to go yonder and go find him. But if you have a problem, just drive a stake back there, you know, to keep him from going the direction you don't want him to go. I hope that's coming across to y'all the way that I'm intending for it to. All right, guys, another thing you can do if you're in an area that will allow you to do it, if you're close to a brush line, just hook that drag right there like that, and that keeps that animal from going towards the road again. Also, what I have done and what you can do as well is if this tree was to go on up and there was a fork here, just hang that drag up there in that fork, and there it is. He's not going anywhere then. He's going to be right there close, just back off there in the brush somewhere, but your trap and drag and everything's still going to be right there, and you're set. You've still saved the integrity of your set location. All right, guys, before we end this, I would like to remind everybody that we are putting on a trapping clinic, a 2.5-day clinic. For those of you that maybe haven't been here and haven't seen the videos yet, September 22nd, 23rd, 24th, I'm going to put you up. I'm going to feed you. The cost is $1,000. All you have to do is get here then. 2 days, 2.5 days actually, of pure trapping instruction, holding nothing back, no bars, you know, no holds barred. I'll get it spit out in a minute. I'm not going to hold anything back. Man's putting out that kind of money. He deserves to get what he pays for. Now, I do also offer 1- and 2-day courses as well. Those are quite a bit cheaper, but you're not going to get the quality of instruction that you would by putting, you know, I need you to understand that there are 2 different sets of instructions. If you decide to come for 1 day, it's $250. I don't put you up, I don't feed you. If you decide to come for a 2-day course, it's $400, and again, I don't put you up and I don't feed you. but that is an option. And it would be, we could either do it before season, during the season on my line, or after. Now, the month of November we'll be here in Iowa. Month of December we'll be in South Arkansas, and the month of the last 2 weeks of January, first 2 weeks of February, we'll be in South Louisiana. So if any of you boys down south want to take advantage of that for personal instructions, we will be in your neck of the woods and won't be quite far of a drive for you. Our next convention we'll be at is the Iowa Trappers Convention in Osage, Iowa, September 9th and 10th. Look forward to seeing a lot of you there. We appreciate everything you've done for this channel, guys, and we appreciate everything you do for us at these conventions too. We really, really do. We enjoy talking to every one of you. If you haven't yet, if you would please hit that notification bell, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button for me. It means so much to me, and I greatly appreciate it. And once again, this is Dale Billingsley with another one. Signing out.